Hello friends, today I would like to talk about a logging package or library in .NET, and it's called serilog, and I'm going to show how you can use it in your programs quickly. So let's get started. Basically all you need to do is install some packages for serilog. So the main package is serilog, and then after that you can include packages called the enrichers. They can install and for the environment, and this way some of those logs can have the information from the environment as well as the context, and I'll explain to you all. And for the syncs, you can have different kind of syncs where the logs will be written, and I'm going to demo you just the console and the file, so you can include all these packages in your program. So let's take a look at how you would write the program. It's very simple. I'm going to demonstrate with as simply as it can be possible. So I've declared a book here, which basically has three properties. Name is Dear the Jackal, author is Frederick Forsyth, and there is some rating which is a high rating. So to be able to log this, what you can do is you can say log is equal to, let me remove this because I think this, I don't need to confuse you initially with this information. I will put that later. And yeah, so basically you can say you want to get a new logger configuration, and we are just going to add a sync so that we can write to console, and then we can say create logger. So this will create a logger, and once you have the logger, as is common in many logging packages, there are various logging levels. So I'm going to say log.verbose. Name is just a string book, and you would notice that since this is kind of an object, and I want to be able to print all of these properties in the object itself, you can use this format notation where basically in curly brackets you can add the symbol at in front of it. That means it's a format, and then the name of the object itself name. So I'm doing verbose debug information, warning, error, and fatal to kind of demonstrate to you that. So let me clear the console here and do a .NET build, and I'm going to do a .NET run now. And you can see that I'm getting a really nice console output. It is colored, and you can see my object is also displayed very nicely in JSON format. And here are my logging levels: INF, info, warning, error, and fatal. And this is a timestamp when these logs were done. So one thing you would notice is that I am also printing verbose and debug, but those are not showing up in the log. The reason they are not showing up in the log because by default the minimum in log level is information. So anything higher than information is printed. So what you can do is you can add, if you want to see the debug and verbose as well, you can add this information. For example, I'm going to add this right now, and I can show it to you. So here I'm basically saying that I want the minimum level to be uh, verbose, and I want to be able to show that. So let's run this program now again, build it and run it. And as you can see, as expected, I'm seeing the verbose level as well as the debug now. So which is great. So the other thing I wanted to demonstrate quickly is that you can have many different types of sync. Another sync that is popular is called the file. So let's add that file. So I'm going to just create a sync and write to some file log.txt. So let's do that. And I'm going to quickly do the build and run again. .NET build and .NET run. And you would notice now is that a log file has actually been created. And if I open that file, it has the same kind of information that you saw on the console. So it's very easy to start logging to a file. You just add that sync and you're good to go. So the other thing I wanted to kind of demonstrate to you is you can do something called enrichment, where you can have some environment variables or log context being added. And they, to do that, what you can do is you can just say enrich with environment variable, and there's a environment variable username. So if I can check, there should be a username hopefully here. Okay, maybe I should just use log name. So I'll just use log name instead of username. So that's one other enrichment you can do. But to do this enrichment, what you need to do is you have to specify in your console that you're doing this. So what I'm going to do is this write to console does take an extra parameter where you can define a format, and I'm adding this format so we will be able to see our enrichment variables. And the reason I need to do that is because you can see by default I want to be able to show what are called properties. So the things you enrich in the log will be showing up in properties. So I will do that. Besides this enrich with environment variables, you can do some other enrichment as well. And I'm going to show that by adding, actually, let me just do this first for a second. Okay, so let's just build and run. And if I just do a build and run, you can see that okay, so I do need to add actually those properties context to be able to see that. So let me do that quickly. So there is a statement you can add which says log context that push the properties, and that you can see here. So let me do that in front of it here, for example. So I've done that, and I'm also going to actually try to see if I can demonstrate enrich from log context at the same time. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I've added all of these, and let's see if we are able to see. Then previously when I had enriched it, you can see the log name and my name is actually showing up. So that did actually work. But now what I'm showing you is the context, where you can put some context and it will show up in all the logs that are part of this using statement of log context. So for example, I've set a variable or property demo to be yes, so that should also show up in the logs. So let's take a quick look. .NET build, .NET run, and you can see that the demo property is also showing up in all of the logs in which this context is pushed. And you can do the push and you can also do the pop. So thank you for watching this short screencast, and hopefully you'll be able to integrate serilog in your programs quite easily. Thanks.